Please make it loud for Josh Johnson!
Things are not going well. No, it's bad. It's very bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad in a way that I didn't see coming. I knew it would be bad, right? It's a lot like when you're about to have a car accident. If anyone here has been in a car accident, you know the moment before the accident, like when you lose control of the car or when you see the other car coming, there's that moment where you're like, what is about to happen isn't gonna be good. But let's see what type of bad it is. Will I survive? I have no idea. Yeah, it's, uh-oh. No, because, you know, as far as media goes, we try to sugarcoat some of it. Sometimes we'll try to, sometimes we'll try to, like, blame y'all for something. Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes we'll give it a shot, but we never do it at, like, the right time. Like there's fires, right? There's fires, there's wildfires and everything. And it would be a good time to be like, I can't believe Canada over here burned, then we get their air and then they poison us with our smoke. That would be great timing if there also wasn't a fire in Michigan right now. Like the way that you would try. The timing couldn't have been worse if the fire was behind you. The fact that you're like, you see these Canadian fires is what's polluting our air and everything. Why is my back so hot? Everything feels upside down. And not just in a, not just in a sense of decorum or anything. Everything feels upside down because what you should do, the things that you're taught to do. And I'm only speaking right now as a citizen in the United States, so I don't know if you see it this way, but I'm there almost all the time, and things are so backwards that now the produce is gonna kill us. It's never a recall on the candy. The candy, there's never a recall on like the double blasted gushers. There's never a recall on the ultimate Choco Tacos. Like, no, this is the produce right now that is tearing us up. It's bad. It's so bad that the news, you know the news, where you get your news? The news came out and said, hey, everybody over here eating well. Everybody here eating right, eating your fruits and vegetables, watch out because there's a parasite and it gives you, and I quote, explosive diarrhea. They didn't say upset stomach. They didn't say bowel issues. They went straight to top of the list, top number one. They didn't even do the thing that our drug commercials do at the end where they're like, they said, loud and proud, explosive diarrhea. And when I say they, I actually mean all of them. All of them. All of them said it. Fox News, ABC, CBS, everybody said it. One Nation News, like America Now, like everybody said it. Explosive diarrhea. They all said it. The same people who can't agree on the results of the 2020 election all said explosive explosive diarrhea. Do you know how bad it must be? Do you know how bad it must be for everyone to bipartisan, explosive? I didn't think this would be what brought us together. I really didn't. I thought that's just how serious this is. It doesn't matter where you are in like the spectrum or the constellation of political opinion. It doesn't matter if you're progressive or conservative or liberal or alt-right. You might even be a Nazi. Everybody's like, that's explosive diarrhea. Do you know how many doctors must have said it for the news? To be like, we gotta start the list with the most important thing. It's bad enough. It's bad enough that when you live in the US and you try to like learn or whatever, that you go into debt for the rest of your life. Like that's already bad. If you're like, hey, I think I want to be a doctor, and it's like, okay, would you also like to be poor? Like that's a crazy question to ask your citizens. And learning was already hard, and housing, housing. They basically come out and been like, hey, you never gonna own a home. That's not gonna happen. All right, not while we're around. The people who own homes. Because we bought them in 1920 or whatever. Like, no. But you at least used to have a choice. They didn't make the choice easy. Don't get me wrong. They're putting McDonald's and every type of fast food restaurant, school boards around the country are making backdoor deals with fast food chains to like put a McDonald's in the school. And then they have the nerve to be like, well, look, the kids have choices. They can choose something healthy. And it's like, no, you sold them out. You did. Like, the kids didn't send a letter to McDonald's. McDonald's came to you. And you were like, break us off a little bit, yeah. You can streamline it right to their young veins. But you used to have kind of a choice. Eat healthy, eat what you want, eat certain things that are quote unquote bad for you in moderation, you know. And now, if you even try, to touch like a kumquat, if you even dare put your hands on a plantain, if you think you're gonna be safe with an apple, ooh, do I have news for you? And that's the thing. The attitude is like, just do the best you can, deal with it, whatever. That's insane. This is a health crisis happening. And it's happened in multiple states, and it happened fast. And then of all of the institutions, Taco Bell. Taco Bell was the one that stepped up and said, hey, look, hey. No. Because I know how y'all talk about us. No. Because I know what y'all do. I know how y'all talk about us. I know what you say about us on the best of days. And so in an abundance of caution, we will not be serving lettuce. We won't be serving tomato. We won't be serving cilantro. And I was like, cilantro? No, Taco Bell. No, you're not slick, okay? No, I've never heard of cilantro at Taco Bell. No. What are you talking about right now? No, you try to make yourself sound better than you are. I've never been to Taco Bell and heard someone say, hold the cilantro. I know how y'all do. Y'all love to pour the cilantro on. No, I like my taco without the taste of dish soap. No, thank you. No, you didn't. I read it twice. I was like, the only way to get cilantro on your Taco Bell is drop it on the floor and cilantro was on the floor. That's the only time that there's been cilantro on Taco Bell. That's crazy that you were like, we won't even be doing. In a particularly terrible time in my life, I had a lot of Taco Bell, and I can assure you that there was no cilantro at all. That's like when you get robbed and then the insurance company asks what got stolen and you're like, I had a Gucci watch right here. And I had a PlayStation 4 and 5 next to each other. This place used to be nice. Cilantro. You must be out of your mind. There's no way. Taco Bell. A company I find so perplexing. The food at Taco Bell. I have not been to the Taco Bell here, but I've been to many Taco Bells in the States. And if it is anything like the Taco Bell in the States, the menu does not exist in any other language except Taco Bell. The menu, the words on the menu were made up by Taco Bell. This is not Mexican food at all. You cannot, if you went to Mexico and tried to order a double Chupa Lupa Crunch Wrap, they would look at you like you had lost your mind. That's not even Spanish. I find Taco Bell's menu disgusting, all right? Because they could have just had the same food. They could have been like, oh, Taco Bell, we'll have the same stuff that you would get at a Mexican restaurant. But they said no. No, not in these United States. I don't even know how you get the menu at Taco Bell. Like, I think the only way you get there is if you ask a racist person what people eat in Mexico and they just started talking. That's the only way you can get the Balupa Lupa Crunch Wrap, the Cholula Modelo Cochita. Menu doesn't make any sense at all. And then a Baja Blast. That color doesn't even exist in nature. A Baja Blast. I'm not even kidding. One time I was with my friends. We went to Taco Bell, and one of my friends got that big cup. I don't even know if y'all care about your citizens or whatever, so you might not even serve it here. But that big cup, the one with all the ounces, the one with a gallon of ounces in it, that big old cup that's sturdier than the other cups because it's got to hold more liquid than any of the other cups hold. It's one of those cups that's specifically made so that when you walk out with the cup, everyone can identify who's about to have diabetes, right? That cup. He got a full Baja Blast of that cup and drank the whole thing, which I didn't even know was humanly possible. I was like, your blood type is Baja Blast now. I can't believe you drank all that. And then, not even kidding, then an hour later, tried to argue with our other friend about Kierkegaard with a fully blue mouth. And I was like, no. Your mouth is blue, you lose. Your mouth is blue. Your whole mouth is blue. The whole mouth blue. Lips blue, teeth blue, tongue blue. And not just blue, a color of blue that doesn't exist anywhere but the Baja Blast, so everybody knows what it is. Look like you bit a Smurf in the face. Trying to argue about philosophy and economics and stuff. No, if someone ran in here right now with information that would save our lives but had a fully blue mouth, nobody would get up, nobody would listen. Your mouth blue, sir. Actually, I'm not even gonna call you sir. Your mouth blue, boy. That company that makes blue mouths Taco Bell, in an abundance of caution, was like, hey, look. We don't know the source of the psychosporora. No, they're over here out of their minds. You gotta be out of your mind. But they were like, you know what, we're gonna step up. Government hadn't stepped up yet. The government was like, ooh, you sound sick. The government did that thing like when you're out drinking with your friends and then one of your friends drinks too much and, you know, the other friend, no help, he's just like, ooh, you don't look good. Doesn't try to hold the hair back, doesn't try to do anything, just, wow, yeah, you look like you might die, I don't know. Taco Bell stepped up and they were like, you know what? We don't know if it's our supply. We don't know who it could be. So you know what? We're not gonna serve it anymore because also Taco Bell knew their clientele. That's also what happened. Taco Bell knew that if you rolled up into Taco Bell and you ordered the double wubba crunch wrap and they were like, actually, we're out of lettuce, that not a single Taco Bell customer would be like, no lettuce? No, that's why I come to Taco Bell for the lettuce. How am I supposed to get my greens if Taco Bell doesn't have any lettuce? No, they knew that their customers wouldn't even notice that there was no lettuce between the cheese and the mystery meat. And so then they pulled it. And then the government does finally say something. They come out and like, you know what, y'all? We've heard your cries. We've heard you from the bathrooms. We've heard you screaming at the top of your lungs for action, and we will act. We're gonna look into it. First place we're gonna look is Taco Bell. What sense does that make? These are the people that were like, hey, in an abundance of caution, we're gonna stop even serving the thing. Then you must have done it. How is that possible? Taco Bell doesn't have a farm. There is not a farm where they make Taco Bell tomatoes and double Dorito crunch wraps. They have a supplier. So if you want to investigate somebody, investigate who supplies them. You're investigating Taco Bell for some reason. All right. It's a weird move. That's like in one of those crime documentaries when somebody finds a body and calls the police, and then the police are like, maybe you murdered him. I mean, you found the body, how convenient. Okay. And they even said, hey, we believe, it's still not fully confirmed as of this moment, but we believe that we've tracked one of the sources of the to this supplier for Taco Bell. This farm right here, is them, we think, maybe. But still don't eat any greens until further notice. The only issue is you also said it was in the berries. So what berries is Taco Bell selling? I'm sure when this bacteria was announced and people said it was in the berries, that Taco Bell was like, we in the clear. Our stuff is only named after berries. There is not a single berry in sight. We got all this stuff happening. And look, I love coming here. And the rumors are true, the stereotype is true and everything. Y'all are very polite. Y'all are incredibly polite. It's everything, I mean, it's all the stuff that people said it was, it is, and y'all are very polite. Truly, truly. Yeah, see, even there. Yeah. You're very polite, but you're not nice. No, you're not nice. No. Look, if you bump into somebody and they drop something, you'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll give you that. But nice, no. No, because you see us come over. You see citizens of the United States come over. And we're struggling, and y'all do a thing that's not y'all look at us, and y'all are like, that's not nice. In fact, I'm gonna read it to you right now, look, I'm gonna read this to you right now, just so that I make sure I quote them correctly, all right? Because this was crazy. I couldn't believe this when I saw this. This is wild. Okay, so all the stuff going on at Taco Bell, right? Well then, Taco Bell, okay? Taco Bell, Canada. Taco Bell Canada went ahead and posted online, we want you to hear it from us. We take your health and safety seriously. We've seen your comments and want to assure you that none of the affected lettuce made its way into our Canadian restaurants. So go ahead and satisfy that craving. See you soon. This is wild and unacceptable behavior. Y'all all supposed to be Taco Bell. What happened to the Taco Bell family unit? What happened to that? That's crazy that Taco Bell Canada is like, oh, we're not that Taco Bell though. That's crazy. That's why y'all supposed to be in this together. Yeah, how bad your Taco Bell gotta be for another Taco Bell to be like, oh, we're not dirty though. Because they typed it, no, it's all the punctuation is correct and everything, but they did the thing that y'all do. It's polite, it looks like a little letter and everything. It's not nice. That's not nice at all. It didn't make it into our Canadian restaurant. Why would you say it like that? That's insane. I can't believe y'all. It's Taco Bell. I mean, this is probably gonna do some irreparable damage. They were out here expanding, not just in the number of restaurants. They were even expanding concepts. They had it where you could get married at a Taco Bell Cantina Chapel. My buddy took a first date to Taco Bell and she was mad. I can't imagine. Because that's what ended up happening is we don't really have the same safeguards that we used to have because they thought people would forget, but Doge came in and they did a bunch of cuts, and the cuts didn't just affect the United States, it actually affected the entire world because they made cuts and they cut ties to parts of WHO, and they've lost funding at the CDC and everything, and so we're in a very bad way. And I don't know if you happen to have watched any of the depositions from some of the young people at Doge, but they are incredible to watch. They're phenomenal to watch because it's always like a 20 or 22-year-old that they have sat down that just gets real honest in the moment. Under oath, they're like, look. I just hit backspace a bunch of times, all right? I had no idea that was the water supply. That's my bad. They were trying to make cuts, and so they gave me a marker. I'd start marking stuff red. I didn't know. That's why we are where we are. And now our first and last line of defense against the psychospora is our head of Health and Human Services, RFK Jr., which, yeah, we might die, yeah. I mean, RFK Jr., that man, the man that stands there and just every time there's an ailment out and he comments on it, I'm like, he got it. Like, I don't. That's why he doesn't seem concerned, because he already has it. He living with it. That's why he's never alarmed. Nothing's ever a big deal. He'll get in front of the nation and be like, it's okay if your throat melts. It's like. Phenomenal, fantastic. He doesn't seem healthy, and so it's like, at best, we will make it up to, like, be where you are. Like, there's just so many things. You know what it is? I think that RFK Jr. as the head of Health and Human Services would still be a terrible idea, but people would feel less bad about it if he hadn't told us so much. He told us too much about his health, and that's why we're like, uh-oh, that's not the health I want. Because if he had just been like, hey, I've got some ideas on how to make the country healthier, we would be like, all right, you have a lot of ideas that are insane. But it's on the personal side, it's the fact that he told us he had a brain worm. You know what's crazy? I've never met anyone that had a brain worm. And that's for one or two reasons. Either he's the only person that's ever had a brain worm, or even people who had a worm eat their brain still had enough sense not to tell anybody that they had a brain worm. And why'd you have a brain worm, sir? Why'd you have a brain worm? Is it because you've been eating carcass for half your life? Is it because you see roadkill and go, oh, yum? That's crazy. That is wild that this man will just be driving, and what we see as terrible tragedies, he sees as plates. Because this is what a nation in decline looks like. You know, when you can't trust the vegetables. Probably a fantastic time to be a kid. No, it's probably great. You know, you look at your plate, you look down, and it's all dinosaur chicken nuggets, so you're like, oh, okay. Look like mom finally got with the program. Looks like she gets it now. Understands, nobody wants peas. Because that's the thing. What do you do? What do you do if you get it? Because now everybody thinks they got it. Now no single United States citizen can discern whether they have the psycho-spadoo-badoo IBS or a regular stomach ache. If you think guns are a problem in the United States, we've left guns behind for a week, and it's just been farts. Every fart, you can see it in people's eyes. They might as well have a gun. A gun would actually put you at ease. If somebody walked in with a gun that just started waving it, you'd be like, all right, at least I know his stomach right. Nobody's doing a shooting when they're tooting, all right? Because this is a terrible thing. When I tell you that there are people, I've been watching people genuinely panic. Because I know a lot of like health nuts too. I know a lot of people who are really into that healthy, holistic, vegan lifestyle, and they don't know what to do right now. Literally the entire list of what they're supposed to eat is everything that the government is like, you can try if you want. And it's a good way to get out of stuff. It is. If you at work and you want to go home, just be like, ooh. All you have to do is give people the eyes. They'll know. Give the people the eyes. Your boss asking you to stay late. You're like, I would, but I should laugh, but there was, okay. I don't know if this guy had it or not, but I was at a meeting. I was in this office building, and this one dude ran, okay. You're gonna judge me, but all right. This one dude ran to the bathroom. Like, I was in the hallway going to the elevators to leave the building, and the bathroom was like, you know, near where the elevators were. I saw this one dude run to the elevator, and instead of like a bathroom with stalls and all like that, it was like a single person bathroom. So he runs up and he tries to pull the handle, and the handle doesn't jiggle, and he just goes, no! I've never hit an elevator button so fast. Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Because I try to be healthy. I try to give it a shot. Eat some of what I'm supposed to eat the green stuff, the red. They say eat the rainbows. So I try, you know, blueberries, raspberry, blackberries, and stuff like that. And I didn't know. This story escaped me for a bit, I'll admit. I usually am reading the news all the time and watching the news all the time. But for whatever reason, this one got past me. I found out about it like a few days late. So it had already been circulating, and I just don't know how I missed it, but it just wasn't something that I had read about or anything. And I went to like a salad bowl place. I went to the salad bowl place, and I walked in, and there was only one guy working there. Nobody was in there. And the one guy looked surprised to see me. I walked in, he was like, huh. I don't know, I didn't know anything was wrong. I just walked up, started ordering. I was like, yeah, let me get the, let me get the green goddess bowl. And he was like, oh. Okay, you don't need like directions or something, or let me get the green goddess bowl. He's like, oh, okay. Grabs the bowl, and he was like, well, what would you like as your base? And I was like, I'll do the mixed greens. And he was like, you sure the rice right there? I'll do the mixed greens. He was like, okay. What protein would you like? We have lamb, beef, chicken, fish, shrimp. And I was like, I'll actually do the jackfruit right there. Are you sure? Because the lamb is delicious. No, I'll do the jackfruit. Okay. Do you want any other vegetables on it? I was like, yeah, let me get the lettuce, tomatoes, cilantro. Maybe a little cucumber on there. And he was like, and just slides over to ring me up. And I get ready to grab my card, and he was like, oh, no charge, man. And I was like, oh, wow, really? Yeah, okay, thanks, man. That's so nice of you. And then he grabbed one of those lids, and he was like, is it for here or to go? I was like, oh, I'll eat it here. And he was like, oh. All right, well, sit anywhere. So then I walked to my seat. I started eating my salad, and then this man watched me eat my salad. Straight up through his fingers was like, at one point, I'm halfway through my salad. He walked past me, and out of nowhere, we weren't talking, and he just goes, the bathroom code is 0248. I finished my bowl, clean up my plate and everything, and then when I walk out of the restaurant, my phone buzzes with a notification, because I got the news apps and stuff, and so I went in my pocket and grabbed my phone, and I was like, what? And it was a glass door. I turned around, looked right at him, and he was like, everybody thinks they got it. Everybody thinks they have it. Because how you know? This is one of the most terrifyingly perfect bacteria to get. If this was a zombie movie, we'd all be dead right now. They're like, oh, it either takes 2 days or like 2 weeks to kick in, lasts for like 6 months. Just make sure you drink your Pedialyte. My friend called me thinking he had it. He was like, ooh. Ooh. This man called me and literally said, I picked up the phone, he's like, I think they got me. And I'm like, okay, who, what? And he's like, the parasite, they got me. I ate some berries. This is bad, I ate some berries. I don't know what I was thinking, I forgot. I bought them and I didn't watch the news and I ate the berries. Now I think, oh, they got me. And I was like, okay, how do you know you have it? Like, are you experiencing the main symptom? Like, how do you, when you say you think they got you? And he's like, I don't know, I don't feel good. I don't know, I just don't feel right. This is bad. I think I got it. Yeah, I think I know I got it. And I was like, okay, well, you should definitely drink your liquids. Make sure you get your electrolytes and everything. And then rest. Don't like overexert yourself or anything. And Yeah, I don't know what else you want me to do about that. Like, everything I told you was pretty Googleable. Like, what do you want me to do? And he was like, I just called you for some support. And I don't even know what made me ask. But I was like, you're not on the toilet right now, are you? And he was like, if I answer, will you hang up? Get off the phone. Oh, we're in a bad way. It's like, this administration is nothing but metaphors. You know? Like even when I watched his speech, where he complained 6 years later about an election he lost, I was like, I thought all the explosive diarrhea was supposed to come from the other end. That's crazy. Sometimes you will see someone do something that is not just like silly. It'll be so stupid. It will actually be so stupid that you ask them the question, how are you alive? You'll see someone do a thing and you're like, what kind of life have you been living up until this point where nothing has happened to you wow. I saw this guy, this video of this guy who called 911 because he was stuck in a porta potty. I'll admit, not an ideal situation. I'm sure he tried a bunch of things to leave, and then when they didn't work, he called 911. But this is my thing. Let's say it happens to you. You want to avoid it, but it happens. You catch the cyclospora, whatever, and then you run to the nearest bathroom that you can because, as the news said, it's explosive. And then you sit in this porta potty, and then you're just in the porta potty for so long that, your legs fall asleep. They fall asleep, all right? And so now you get ready to go and you're like, I understand calling 911. Or let's say you're like a smaller than average gentleman. I understand. Maybe you sit down to porta potty, and maybe because you're smaller than the average bear, you get a little stuck. You're over here, knees to chest, you're kicking, trying to get up. And so you call 911. That's not what happened in this case. In this case, firefighters show up. They call 911. 911 shows up. These firefighters show up, and when they bust open the door, they pull the door open, and no one's in there. Like, nobody's in there at all. They just hear, help. If I'm a fighter fire, and you call 911 and they send me, and I bust open the lock, I pull open the door, and there's nobody in there, and I hear help, it better be a ghost. It better absolutely be that you have left your mortal coil And now your spirit is calling out for the help you wish you got in life. That's what it has to be. No, this man called 911 because he fell in. I don't know how, the firefighters don't know how. No one knows how this happened. No one knows how this fell in. And so then he called for help. And when he said help, it's crazy because firefighters do that. Firefighters fight. Fire's pretty scary. Firefighters run into burning buildings, but when I tell you, every single one of them, when they heard help, they were like, oh no. These are like jacked firefighters. And they're all like, oh no. They're over there standing back and yelling, how? And then all you see on camera from the person who was recording, all you see is just a hand rise up. And the firefighter's like, And can I tell you, I didn't know how healing it would be to see a firefighter react how I would react. These firefighters, they didn't even grab a stick to hand to him to pull him out. They were all just trying to coach. They were like, no, all right, fight. Come on, man, you can do it. Finally, one of them brings a tiger saw and they just start sawing parts of the porta potty away because still no one's gonna touch him or help him. They're like, best we can do is cut you out a little bit. You're gonna have to do it on your own. Come on, man, you can do it. They sounded, standing as far away as they could, they sounded like somebody trying to coach someone who was losing a boxing match. Just like, come on, you can do it. Come on, try. And the entire reason that I told you all of that is that I think it's the best metaphor for the situation we're in the United States, because you're literally our neighbors. Our hands are reaching out. You're like, oh. I don't know, whenever Tupac was murdered, it really was like Black Elvis. Like, we couldn't accept it. We were like, no, he went to Cuba because they was looking for him. Not likely, all right. But we never did that with Biggie. You notice that? Tupac and Biggie got shot within months of each other. And Tupac were like, no, he gonna come back one day. And Biggie, we were like, yeah, that checks out. That's wild. I can't help but think it's because Biggie was heavy. I think deep down we know if it wasn't the bullets, it would have been butter. You know what I mean? Like, Biggie was not long for this. It was gonna be the streets or the kitchen. One of them was coming for Biggie. You know? I don't know if y'all remember this, but back in the day, before the pandemic, they were talking about putting Harriet Tubman on like the 20 or something. I don't even remember what bill it was. And it was like, everyone had an opinion immediately. There were people who thought it was great. There were people who didn't care, a little bit, and then it turned out they cared. And then there were people that were like, no, we can't have this happen.
And then Mnuchin said he'd block it, and he did, so it never happened. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I need Harriet on the 20. What bothers me the most is how has Harriet Tubman not had her own sneaker yet? Like, that seems... Yeah, I mean, think about it. Who is more deserving of a sneaker deal throughout all the history of America than Harriet Tubman? Come on. If you don't know who Harriet Tubman is, she was the LeBron of escaped slaves, okay? She was putting up numbers. She got a lot of other people to freedom. Buckets. That would have been a motherfucker to be a slave owner while Harriet was around. You come outside, ain't nobody there. You're like... The commercial writes itself. It does. I just beat the Golden State Warriors in my new Adidas Maxes. And it's like, oh, I ran to freedom. How about that? How do you beat that shoe? You don't. I do wonder, and this is a genuine question. I'm being sincere. This isn't like, I'm not going to make fun of you or anything. Does anyone here believe in aliens? Okay, so this is my thing. I believed in aliens so hard when I was little. Like when I was a little kid, I was like, it's just us in the whole universe? Come on, really? Just us, a whole universe. That seems wild, right? And then as I get older, it's becoming harder for me to believe in aliens. Because especially after everything up until 2023, it's hard to believe in aliens because Trump didn't mention it while he was president. Like that man told every secret. Anything they told him, he told us in an hour. Like, they would be in the room with this man and be like, "You're not gonna tell anybody, right?" And he's like, "No." And then he leaves the room, he's like, "Folks," like that was... He could not keep a secret at all. He had the leakiest White House of all time. And he never mentioned aliens, so now I'm like, maybe not. I don't know what to tell you. It's a tough one. For the people who believe in aliens, once again, I'm being sincere, I wonder if aliens haven't made broad daylight obvious contact with us because they think we're boring or because they've seen how we treat each other. Do you know what I mean? Like if I was an alien above Earth looking down all this time, I'd be like, oof, they don't even like when you have different skin. And I got 3 dicks, so they gonna kill me immediately, just out of jealousy if nothing else. God damn, might as well stay up here where it's safe. Ooh. I feel this is a weird thing. I respect that people have to be like choosy when they're dating, and sometimes you have to make choices based off, like you get a little inkling of a thing and you call it a red flag, or because you're like, I know how it's gonna go after that. And sometimes people are overly harsh about that, but it's necessary, you know? Like I think about my friend, I went to a club with my buddy, and he had a full like almost rom-com experience. He saw this woman across the club, truly across the club. He was like, the light was just shining on her a little extra, you know? So then my man made his way over, and it was almost like the dance floor was parting as he was walking over to her. And then he gets up to her, he lays his thickest game on that he has. He's like, hey, how you doing? You know, mind if I buy you a drink or something? And she turns around and looks him up and down and goes, no. Nah, that's not what we doing. And he tries one more time. He's like, why can't I buy you a drink? Get to know you. We might like each other. And she looks him up and down again, and she goes, your shoes. Which I know, that sounds super vapid. That's wild. It sounds really materialistic, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm on her side. Because when he looked down, both his shoes were untied. And it's like, yeah, bro, how did you? There's no better way to walk up to a woman and be like, you have to take care of me eventually, than to have both your shoes untied when you approach the conversation. How'd you even make it over without tripping? It's crazy. Dude, one shoe could happen to anybody. Both shoes hasn't happened since the 3rd grade, all right? If you approach a woman with both your shoes untied, you might as well walk up with a glass of milk in one hand and a cookie in the other. Talking about, you want to be friends? Because that's what the fuck you look like with both your shoes untied. It's insane. I was watching a movie this week. Have you heard of Downfall? Anybody? Okay. It's a German movie, and it's about the last 10, 12 days of like Hitler and the Third Reich. It was like when they were losing the war, and it's from the account of the secretary that was in the bunker, of just like, you know, Hitler was freaking out and everything. And it got me to thinking, like, how do you contend with the idea that there's a higher power while watching all of the horrible stuff that happened around the world in World War II? It's like the worst atrocities against humanity happen, but also there's supposed to be this higher power that's fully in control and everything. And people talk about if they could go back in time, they'd kill baby Hitler and stuff like that. You know? I'm like, all right, yeah. But if I was God, I think I would have just given Hitler a real high voice. Ain't nobody following him then. If that dude rock up and be like, listen to me. There's something happening in the fatherland that must be stopped. I don't even think you let that dude work fast food. You'd be like, nah, that voice too annoying. He's like, listen to me about the Jews. It's like, no, we caught you. I'll be vulnerable for a second. I thought I had it all figured out, you know. I was sexting. And sexting's a very precarious situation. You want to make sure you're sexting at the right time, you know? Because if it's like 8 o'clock, you still got other people texting you, you know? You don't want to accidentally send a text that's incoming to somebody because you opened the thing, you know what I mean? And it's also like, what if you're not that skilled? Like, what if I'm not good texting with just my left hand? Now you texting typos and stuff. It's knocking the sexy right out of your sexting. You know, it's like, I'm gonna fud your bass. It's like, nobody's into it now. You know? So I had an idea. I was like, this is what I'm gonna do. And I didn't talk to anybody about it. I had never heard anybody doing this, but in my mind, it was the best thing to do. I was like, I'm just gonna speak to text. So that way, I don't gotta worry about the other hand and everything, and I can just like get in the zone and stuff. I don't have to worry about other people texting me and everything. And it went horribly wrong. Because I wasn't at home. I was at my childhood home. So I was in my room, but it wasn't my house, you know? And it was, 9 o'clock or so, and we were sexted. And look, I'll read you the thing right now. This is what okay. All right. So she's like, oh, okay. And what would you do if you were here right now? And then I was like, girl, I would tear those clothes off. And Mom, what are you doing in here? Mom, I had the door closed. You can't just open the door. I was just coming to see if you wanted dinner. No, I'm okay. Mom, get out right now. Boy, how you gonna tell me to get out somewhere in my house? I'm sorry, Mom. Please, can you please leave and close the door? You know we don't have closed doors in this house. Which is true. That's a very like black family thing of like you not closing the door in my house. What you up to in there? I was like, Mama, please leave. Please, please leave. And she was like, all right, what's the big deal? I was like, nothing, Mom. Just please, please get out of here. So anyway, girl, I would say... All right, thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great night.
Josh Johnson! Oh, that was so funny.
Did everybody have a good 4th of July? Yeah. I did decent. It was a fine time, you know, but like 4th of July there's two groups in America that are very conflicted with 4th of July, and it's black people and dogs. Like both of us just, the whole day we don't know how to feel. The whole day is fucked up. And I'm a black dude with a dog, so I was looking at my dog all day like, I know. Like it's, both of us just gotta watch white people have the best day of their lives. And it's just like, oh God, okay. And the dogs don't know how I feel about 4th of July because there's a barbecue, but also there's fireworks. So you might get some good scraps, but what is going on up there? Like, every dog is British on 4th of July. Every dog is like, what the fuck are they doing? You know? And it's tough for me because it's like when you know, I don't know. It's like the day of my country's independence, but not mine. Isn't that weird? It's like you can't even really, because they don't really teach about it, but like black people fought in the American Revolution. Like black people fought for the country to be free. And then we were like, yeah, we're free. And then somebody was like, what do you mean we? You know? I know. It must be hard to hear. Appreciate you. Keep telling them like you're black too. That's the funniest. You're my favorite. I love you so much. Thank you for that. Keep fucking get they ass.
I only know what it's like to be me. The hardest life you're ever gonna have to live is your own. So I don't know what it's like to date as anybody else, and I can't judge. I'm not even gonna try to project. I will say, just being me, it's been hard enough. So a woman dating men is an unenviable position. I can't even imagine what that's like, you know, because men be out here killing. That's look. When it comes to dating, everyone, don't let the podcast fool you. Don't let your friends get in your ear. Everyone is doing everything. Men and women both cheat. Men and women both manipulate. It's all, there's no like one-sided thing except the killing is us. That we be doing that shit for real. That's like, even if women wanted to catch up, it would take till 22 to really match our numbers. We out here crazy as fuck, killing. It's wild. And so I can't imagine what it's like to then be a woman trying to date men and find somebody that you vibe with that also doesn't kill. Because remember, when they catch these killers, everybody talking about how nice and polite they were. They were, outside the killing, they were some good men. You know what I mean? So now you a woman out here trying to find a man that's like, you know, nice, treats you well, not dangerous, but a little dangerous. You know what I mean? Like, you a little bit of that, like.
That's my favorite. I don't know why, but anytime I've been like about to hook up with somebody and they put my hand on their throat for me, I'm like, oh, you think I'm a bitch out there? That's crazy. That's wild. You feel so safe with me. You put my hand on your throat. That's almost insulting. That's a little like, let me do what I was gonna do, and then we figure out if like. Don't just be like, let me help. Like that's so insulting. It's crazy. And then another part of me very much likes it because you're helping me help you. Like it's like that does low key. I'm insulted, but it does feel like a cheat code where I'm like, oh, and then this. Like it's, But it is. I cannot imagine. It really is tough because then how do I put it? I'm not trying to be like, oh, poor men or whatever, but then you got to be that person. You have to be someone who's interesting, nice, engaging, charismatic, and prove you don't kill. And trying to prove you don't kill make you look like a killer every time, all right? Please believe me, the most murdery looking people are the people who are trying to convince you they don't kill. Imagine somebody ask you, hey, do you want to do something later and it's safe? Why would you say that? Why would you even bring it up? That's crazy. But it's also kind of crazy not to bring it up. It's like a real tightrope to walk. I thought I was doing well. I thought I was doing so good because I would hear, I have so many different, friends out here dating, men and women. I hear all the stories, and so I was aware. I was like, sometimes when women go out with a guy for the first time, they don't really know him. They met him on an app or something. They end up like sharing their location with their friends, or they end up texting like, hey, this is where I'm. So I was on the date. Date was just starting. I was like, hey, do you want to text your friends where we're going? Like, just to let her know I wouldn't be offended. But then as soon as I said it, I was like, that sounds like we going to the woods. That's, God damn. And then I'm like, I'm not crazy or anything, which, why would you say that? It's still bad. Did y'all, by the way, have y'all been in this whole Jonah Hill thing that's been trending? Yeah, a little bit. Some shaking heads. All right. So if you don't know about it, I'm going to try to sum it up in 2 sentences. Basically, Jonah Hill's ex-girlfriend has put out in her story their old texts to each other. And it's a lot of him being like, why you got to be around men? It's a lot of just like, she's a surfer, and it's like, why you gotta surf with men? And it's like nonstop. And he's clearly in lots of the texts having like some sort of moment where he's like very scared she gonna cheat or something. But it's like, the texts don't make sense. Like, she may have cherry picked some text to make him look extra bad, but he still texts what he texts. So then it's just him texting like, why you gotta surf, and he surfing, and y'all might surf on each other, all right? And then if y'all surfing on each other, you might get surf in your mouth, and then you come home and you just covered in surf, and it's like, you can't be surfing without me, bitch. Like, it was just, when you read them, you're like, oh no, this is not good, And there's been a lot of backlash and everything. I just think that Jonah Hill committed the cardinal sin of telling a woman what to do when he's not that good looking. Like, that's kind of all he did, really. When you think about it, when you read all the text, if that had been John Hamm and he was like, I don't really want you around other dudes, you'd be like, okay, daddy, all right. Like, just throwing it out there. Maybe. Because it's hard. It's so difficult. Building a relationship now is still it's always been difficult, but now we live in a more convenient era of civilization. It used to be maintaining some sort of relationship and just surviving were like the two hardest things to do. It was like keep your spouse happy and don't get malaria was like
was like the two hardest things to do. And then we evolved and we evolved and we evolved. But now interpersonal relationships are as difficult as they've ever been, but everything else is easier, which actually makes them more difficult. Because our life is so convenient now that as soon as someone is an inconvenience, you're like, well, why would I even deal with you? Then you're done. And nobody's happy. It's hard. I think the thing that makes being with someone harder than it's ever been is definitely podcasts. It is. And it goes both ways. It truly does. All these podcasts are, it's like, don't listen to anybody, bitch. You're a fucking queen, okay? And if he tells you that you drink too much, he doesn't fucking party enough, all right? Don't let him fucking stop you from living your life and being the boss babe that you were born to be in your soul. You are a fucking Sagittarius, bitch. You cannot be stopped, all right? Live your fucking life. You walk on air and angel dust, okay? And then on the other side, you have dude, bruh, a girlfriend? You gonna get a girlfriend? You gonna get a girlfriend and talk about she trying to improve your life? She's trying to change you, dog. She's trying to get you to eat vegetables? Bruh, she get you eating vegetables? Are you serious? She get you eating vegetables out here? Pause, dog. All right? Try and get you to eat vegetables. Everybody know vegetables gay. If vegetables ain't gay, why they all shaped like dick? All right? Think about that. Zucchini, all right? Cucumber, that's a hard one. All right? But that's what it is. It's just people, huge influencers, people with huge followings telling people, don't communicate with anyone, don't settle with anyone, everyone is against you, they're all trying to get one over on you, and it's coming from everywhere. So then, yeah, you listen to that shit going to work every day, you're gonna be pretty hard on a first date. You know, it makes it tough. And it's a shame. I don't know what to do with that information. Just anytime somebody start telling me about a podcast, I just start screaming. You know, it'll break my heart too. It'll be the smartest person you know, be like, you know, he had some good points. It's like, I lost my friend. God damn. What a fucking shame. I'll be honest with y'all. I don't smoke weed, but I let people think I do, because it makes me make more sense to people. Like if I told you my thoughts and you knew I was sober, you'd be like, ooh, is he slow or something? What's going on? But if I told you my thoughts and you thought I was high, you'd be like, he really on to something. I like how he thinks. That's fire right there. I'll give you an example right now. Like I wish I could talk to bugs. And not all the animals. I'm not trying to get input from everybody, just bugs. Because I feel like it would save a lot of lives, you know. Because how many times have you been at home chilling and in the corner of the room you just hear... But if you could talk to bugs, if you could be like, hey, bruh, no. Not tonight. I'm not in the mood. I'm gonna open the window, I'm gonna need you to leave. And then he'd be like, sorry. But because we don't speak their language, it's just every time. It's just murders in your house. Let's say you bring somebody home, you have a date, date's going well, date comes back with you to your place, you in the Netflix portion of the Netflix and chill. You got the arm around, y'all making out, and then just a cockroach walk out to the middle of the room. If you could just be like, Carl, no. Not tonight, I got company here, come on now. Come on, bro. He'd be like, I'm sorry, that's my bad. Even she'd be understanding. She'd be like, he had no way of knowing I was coming. That's it happens. If I could talk to bugs, first bug that I talk to would be a praying mantis. I just walk up to him and be like, she ain't good for you, dog. Nah, don't do this. You and the boys for a little while. She just using you for your body, okay? No, not even sex. You got a tasty ass head, and she wants to eat you.
I watch the news sometimes when I'm like not depressed enough, you know. You know, sometimes you're having a good day, you turn on the news, you're like, let's see who else is having a good day, and the news is like, nobody. Nobody having a good day. Everybody died. So I turned on the news and I saw Kamala Harris was in Jakarta. And she was in an interview with a journalist. And during the interview, the journalist asked her if she would be ready, willing, and able to take up the office of president if Biden was, for whatever reason, incapacitated. And she said, yes, and it was just too quick. That's way too fast. And don't get me wrong, that's literally her job. Her job to be there in case he not there, she there, right? That's her whole job. But she said yes, like she been dropping banana peels at the White House for years. That's way too fast. She said yes, like every time Biden get on some steps, her mouth water. Just like, okay, it's the day. All right, I'm gonna get my promotion. Oh, he about to miss that third step. Let me get the right pantsuit on. She said it like just anytime she's walking down the stairs behind him, she sees her hair shaking like she about to lean forward. I could be a world leader. And you could tell, she said yes too fast. Because she said, yeah, so he asked her, she was like, yes, ooh. Like, shit. And so then she started backtracking, which just made it sound worse. She was like, I'm just answering your hypothetical. Like, you the one over here asking a question about Biden's stronger than ever. All right, calm down. Do y'all see they want to impeach Biden now? Do you see they're trying to open the investigation and impeach Biden? It's starting to feel like if you don't get impeached, you weren't really president. Like this started to feel like street cred for presidents. You know what I mean? They want to impeach you. Here's my thing about Biden. And calm down, because I can already feel it. For real. Like I said 2 words and already people were like, what? Like it was. This was so annoying about being American right now. You get like 2 words in and people try to suss out where you are. Like we haven't done that since the Civil War. Like chill out. I said 2 things. I just said, here's my thing about Biden. And immediately I could feel y'all's eyes on me like, oh, I didn't know they invited Candace Owens' brother to do a set. No. Here's my thing about Biden. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I feel like if you show me evidence, I'll consider something. I'm not a biased person. Maybe he doing everything that the Republicans say he doing, but when we look over at him, he just look tired. Like he doesn't look. I mean, I'm not even saying he can't be corrupt. I'm saying he doesn't look capable right now. He look. You know, maybe he's the worst criminal that we've ever had in the office, but when you look over him, he just looked like the Snoop Dogg of soup. You know what I mean? Yeah, everything Snoop Dogg did for weed, Biden doing for soup right now. Like, he making soup cool. He trying to get the kids into soup, you know what I mean? Like, it feels odd, you know? Because it's like, maybe he's a criminal mastermind, but it feels like he just hanging on. You know what I mean? That's a grandpa, and we put him to work. We did that, you know? You can't possibly believe that Biden is this criminal mastermind, but then also, anytime he make it through a speech, we're like, that was pretty good. That was like, no, he really crushed that. He didn't slip on any of the S's. That was well done. You know what I mean? There was a couple T's, and he stuck them like Simone Biles. I'm really proud of it. Well done. You know, there is one thing I will say, honestly, that Biden will be doing that's not on the up and up. If you watch as many press conferences as I watch with Biden talking, it's only when they ask him a good-ass question he start acting senile. I'm not going to lie. Like, anytime they got a good-ass question dead to rights, that's when he start talking about Disneyland and hanging out on Mars with Larry Bird. I'm like, you were fine a second ago. Like, you know, this feels weird. I don't know why more world leaders don't do that. You know, a lot of them old, just start doing the Biden card. You get in trouble. That's what Putin should do.
Think about it. Putin would buy a lot of goodwill if he just fell down a flight of steps every day. If every day for a month, Putin just, like just every day. You'd be catching people a month from now being like, he's a fucking war criminal. And we'd be like, yeah, but it looked like he got bad knees. Leave him alone. They try to interview him. They're like, why are you still laying siege to Ukraine? And he's like, Ukraine? Is that one of my grandbabies? Like, oh. And they're even coming for Hunter now. You saw Hunter got indicted. That's wild. That's, oof. They really coming for the Bidens hard, you know? I love Hunter. I really do. I really do. No, hear me out. I do. I love Hunter because I'm just so glad that the first person to smoke crack in the White House was white. That's beautiful. That's absolutely incredible. Especially if you know the history of crack in the U.S. You're like, wow, yes. Thank goodness. It really makes the White House to crack relationship feel like it's come full circle now. Yeah? I am disappointed, though. I'm not going to lie to you. I really do wish that Hunter would just get Joe to smoke crack. That would be the most fire presidency of all time. I know nobody's on board with this, but hear me out, okay? First of all, Biden will never fall again, all right? Crackheads do not fall, okay? You could push Biden and he still hit an angle. Like, it's like, I'm telling you, he'd never go down again. You'd never have to worry. He would skip steps on the way up. My man would be fucking feeling himself. You'd never have a boring press conference again. Biden press conferences are a snooze fest right now. Just, you know what I mean? Not on crack. Not on crack. Not on crack. He'd be like, what? What was that? He got to scream because he sold the mic for money for more crack. But like, what was that? And Republicans would love if Biden was on crack because he'd finally be as bad of a president as they've been saying he is. Republicans could finally be like, he sold Indiana for $6 to China, all right? What the fuck we gonna do? We got citizens over there. And then as liberals, we would love if Biden was on crack, because we'd finally have a Trump. You know what I mean? We act like we don't need a Trump, but we need one. We really do. As liberals, we need a Trump. We care about everybody feelings too much, but we get Biden smoking crack, Joe just going off. He not in control of what he's saying. We'd finally have a bully on our side, you know? Marjorie Taylor Greene be up there like, Joe Biden, you're a piece of shit. And then Joe, fully cracked out. Fully cracked out. It's like, oh, Mart, I'm a piece of shit. Well, you a lonely bitch. Aren't you getting divorced this year? Hope those conspiracy theories could keep you warm, lonely bitch. No, it'd be incredible. You would have to like rein him in, though. You'd see Joe trying to wash the windshields of Air Force One. Mr. President, get down. Get down right now. Oh, it would be dope, man. How do I put this? I'll be honest with you, I've watched some porn before in my life. Thank you. And this is my thing. Porn, it gives people unrealistic expectations, you know what I mean? And we all know what they say about men, that porn gives men unrealistic expectations of sex, because porn makes men think, oh, if I just touch her elbow with my penis, she gonna lose it, you know what I mean? Like, if I just touch you, I'm like, ah! Thank you. But it's not just for men, it's for everyone. Porn gives everyone unrealistic expectations of sex, you know? Like, it makes men think that they're about to be sex gods, and it makes women think that the sex is about to be, like, good or whatever, you know what I mean? Everybody's gonna be disappointed. I've been worried about getting
getting older and everything, and like where I'm at in life or where I should be based on age and stuff. You know, you always do those comparisons with your peers or just with people, with history, all that stuff. And I think I'm especially freaking out because I don't know what type of old man I'm gonna be, because I don't think you get to choose. Do you know what I mean? I don't think a lot of old men want to be the old men that they are. And it feels like there are some very specific lanes you can go down. You could be a creepy old man. You could be an angry old man. You could be a sweet old man. You could just have dementia. You know what I mean? Like it feels like there's only 4 ways you can go. And I'm scared I'm gonna be an angry old man, you know? That's why I try to live my life. I try to be present so that I won't look back and wish anything or have regrets or get bitter or anything like that, because I'm already starting to get angry old man tendencies. Because I already hate kids, but not kids in general. I got beef with specific kids like an old man would. Like I got it's like 4 kids where I'm like, ooh. Cause there's nothing you could do, so I just hope something bad happens. You know what I mean? It's just 4 of them. So it's not kids at large. It's just, I'll tell you about one of them. I was walking down the street, walking to the train, and there was this little Girl Scout, selling cookies. All right? And we got into it, okay? No, you need to be on my side. Hear me out. So I'm walking down the street, and then this Girl Scout is like, cookies, cookie. Like, she just working her corner, I guess. And like, cookies. And then she sees me. I'm trying to avoid eye contact. I don't want to have anything to do with this right now. I'm trying to keep a good diet and everything. So I'm trying to stare straight ahead. And then she's like, would you want some cookies? And like leaned into my field of vision. Like, would you like some cookies? And I was like, oh, no, I'm okay, but thank you. Have a good day, right? I said all that. I didn't even say any of that. I could have just kept walking. I could have acted like I didn't hear her, right? But then she goes, as I'm about to pass her, she right here, right? And then as I'm passing, she goes, it's okay if you're broke. What? Who talks like that? That's insane. That's so crazy. And so I stopped, and I should have stopped, but I stopped. I was like, what did you say? And she was like, it's okay if you're broke. She said it louder the second time. And I was like, where is an adult? This is crazy, but now what do you do? Because I'm like, I'm the grown man. There's nothing that I can do, you know? I can't just be out here yelling. I can't be a grown black man out here yelling at a child holding cookies. Fox would have a fucking field day if there's a picture of me yelling and she's holding the cookies up. So I hit her with everything I could. I was like, Santa ain't real. Tooth Fairy not real. And she just stone cold stared me in my face. It was like, and you don't have any real money. It's like, what do you do? What do you do? There's nothing that you could do in this moment. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna go home and pray that you stay the same size your whole life. That's all I can do. There was a time in my life where I don't know why. Maybe it was like a Keeping Up with the Joneses thing or something, but I wanted AirPods so badly. I don't even know why I wanted them. They're not better than the corded. It's all hype. But I wanted them, but I didn't feel like I could afford them. I felt like it'd be too much to spend on some AirPods, right? So I just shut down those desires. I saved up my money. I was like, I'm gonna spend my money on something that's not gonna pass away. I'm gonna make sure that I spend my money on something that's gonna give me a lot of joy. So I spent it on a trip to Mexico, right? And while I was in Mexico, I saw a knockoff pair of AirPods that were so cheap, but they weren't just cheap by like the exchange rate. They were cheap in pesos. They were so cheap, I thought they might be toys, but I was like, let me roll the dice, because I have money to blow now, right? And I bought them, I brought them home, and these had to be the biggest AirPods I've ever seen in my entire life. They were so big, they hurt to put in my ear. They genuinely stretched my ear a little bit because I had to shove them in. And you know how the AirPod's supposed to come like here, just under your ear? These came down, like these were wild. And so I turned it on, and the way you turned them on was each side had a button. That's how big they were, that they had buttons on them, all right? You had to press each button at the same time to turn them on. And when you press the button, it didn't even make a technology noise. It wasn't like, it was just like just immediately in your ear. And I don't know if this is related, but as soon as I turned them on, my balls hurt so bad. Which doesn't even make sense. I was like, how are these connected at all? What waves are being sent through my body right now? Because I went like, and I was like, oh, like immediately. And I had him in for a little while, and while I had him in, my mom gave me a call, and I answered because you just had to hit the button to answer. And honestly, everyone that called me while I was wearing my bum AirPods, they sounded behind me. It was the most unsettling. Like I answered if I was like, "Hey, mom," and she's like, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, "Oh." I tried for 2 weeks to wear them, you know, because I was like, if I go ahead and wear them every day, they won't hurt as much anymore and everything. And then finally, I gave it up. I was like, these are not worth it. I put them back in the box. I put them in the closet. And I saved up my money, and I just went ahead and bought some regular AirPods, right? But my ear's like a little too loose now for the standard air. Like my right got tight again, but my left, like my ear ussy is like not snapping back at all. It's like, and then if I even yawn, they fall out. Like it's hanging on by a thread. I got to hang out with one of my older relatives, and it's really important to me to hang out with people that are older than me because they really do show us the way. You know what I mean? They haven't lived perfectly. Most of the things they say are going to be imperfect, but I feel like life is like a dark house, right? And older people, they start walking through the house before we did. So sometimes we're trying to find our own way, and we hear them calling out in front of us, "Hey, watch it, there's a door right there. Hey, don't hit your shin on that," you know what I mean? But then every once in a while, they'll let you walk all the way out of a window and be like, "My bad, I didn't see that one coming. That's on me, all right?" Back in my day, we would fall out that window, and we would just get back in the house. We wouldn't complain about it. But we were talking, and I realized something. Another thing that I worry about, getting to be an old man. When that day comes, I know a few things that are going to bother me. Every time we would go somewhere, he would get so mad if I made him use his knees. We would get somewhere, and he was like, "You didn't tell me they had all them steps." And I was like, what? Would you have prepared or something? He's like, "Yeah, I would have got my head right for all these steps. Now I just gotta do steps, unprepared. I didn't get to count them out. I didn't get to look at the image, see how many steps it would be or anything. You just want me to go up these steps raw." And I was like, "What do you mean raw?" I feel like enough time has passed that we can talk about it without it being weird. So, I did a lot of protesting in 2020. There was very little else to do. And all the protests that I happened to go to were peaceful. And there were plenty of peaceful ones. There were peaceful ones all across the state, country, world, peaceful. But enough time has passed that we can admit there were some that weren't. There was a couple times I was watching the news, I was like, nah, Target didn't do anything. Wow, what was in there? Yeah. And I was having this conversation with a friend, and he told me that he also went to a protest, and he admitted to me that when this protest just happened, it was like out of nowhere. At one point, he was like protesting with the people, and then he saw people starting to run, and then everybody was running, and then somebody threw something, and then it was a riot. It was like a riot around him. And he admitted to me that when it turned into a riot, that he looted, right? And it's weird, because you're never on the phone with a looter. Yeah, I mean, you always see them on TV, they like stock footage and stuff like that. You never like having a conversation. Because he told me, I was like, why the fuck are you telling this on my phone? What are you doing right now? What's wrong with you? And I was so torn about it, you know what I mean? Because a part of me, all he looted was a rabbit. Nah, I'll explain. Basically, this shit kicked off into a riot, and then this man ran into a PetSmart I'm pretty sure was open. Grabbed a rabbit and ran out. And I was so torn about it, because a part of me was like, why would you loot? What's wrong with you? That's not the point. And then another part of me was like, you couldn't grab someone with some street value or something like that? That's crazy. Because he didn't get a good rabbit. This rabbit been sick since he got it, all right? He been in and out of the vet 3 years off this rabbit. This man lured himself $7,000 into rabbit medical debt. It's absolutely crazy. Look, Chicago, y'all been too good. Thank you so much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you.